Welcome. My name is Hannah Skeggs and I'm Nutrition and Scientific Affairs Manager at IGD. IGD are a research and training charity which sits at the heart of the food and grocery industry. We have a long heritage in nutrition labelling and in researching shopper trends. We've spent the past 3 years undertaking extensive research into front of pack nutrition labelling, and I'll take you through our research and some top line findings in this video. IGD undertook thorough analysis of published scientific research on labelling to start their journey, and followed this up with in-store interviews and eye tracking, where we could follow what people looked at on pack and then ask them why that information was of interest to them. Were they looking for calories? Were they interested in a health claim? Or were they just drawn to their favourite brand? Following this, we ran consumer focus groups and created messages to help people with the common confusions associated with front of pack labelling. We tested those messages rigorously with behaviour change experts and consumers, and then followed up with shopper surveys and comprehension testing so that we can ensure the messages are helping change behaviour over time. So far, we've engaged over 7,700 consumers in our research, and we won't be stopping anytime soon. So here are a few top-line insights from our extensive research. We know that shoppers look for shortcuts, such as health claims, to help them identify the healthiest products. However, a significant number of shoppers are feeling confused and sceptical about nutrition information and health claims. About a quarter actively use nutrition labels, but that leaves a large number who aren't. And here you can see that 52% of people surveyed do not believe most health claims made by food companies. We also know there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to nutrition labelling, with 46% of shoppers finding nutrition information on pack is just too difficult to read. Lack of time and lack of understanding were also cited as barriers to reading this nutrition information on pack and using it to make informed decisions. But with that being said, there really is appetite to use nutrition labels more. Nearly half of all shoppers believe they should be referring to nutrition information on a more regular basis. A similar number are open to learning more about nutrition labelling or information so that they can make more informed choices. Interestingly, when we asked people what's helpful about current labelling, we found that the amount of sugar in a product, the colour coding, the levels of salt, fat and calories were reportedly most important. And that's really great news because it highlights that people are interested in the information that can be found on front of pack nutrition labels, highlighting a real opportunity to empower informed decisions if people know how to read them correctly. But the majority of shoppers are confused by the lack of consistency. 72% of shoppers agreed it would be easier to understand food labels if they were consistently displayed across all products. We know now that consumers are shopping in a variety of stores and across multiple channels, and because of this they're exposed to a wider range of brands and product packaging than ever before. It's just too much information, and it's hard for people to recognise. In fact, we did some research recently which involved over 1,700 consumers and found that only 10% of shoppers believe traffic light labelling is set by the government or is regulated. 39% of people thought that the colours were chosen by food manufacturers and were not standardised. So we need to make sure there's consistency, not just for people to read things correctly, but also to trust in the information, which is from a regulated source. So around half the people we spoke to claim to have looked at nutrition labels in the last 3 months. This is great news, but unfortunately we have a big caveat here. So 1 in 4 are not correctly understanding portion size labelling. When looking at this cheesecake, a quarter of people were unable to tell us how many servings were in it. Similarly, 6 in 10 are not fully understanding reference intakes, what they mean, or where they're located. And around 1 in 5 don't know to use colour coding to compare products or as a shortcut for healthier choices. In conclusion, health is now a key factor in deciding what we eat and drink. So we want to empower understanding of nutrition labels, and it's important to educate people from a young age. Shoppers really want to use nutrition information, but are confused by it. Simple messaging and consistency could improve comprehension. IGD have created messaging, so why not check out our website or our following video, Know Your Label, to understand more. Thanks so much for listening. If you have any questions, my email is available on the screen.